No email yet from him?
Huh?
No email?
No. What? No,
I got the email from my student affairs.
Oh, is that it?
Did you get the NRMP one?
I got it. Oh, wow.
What?
It gives, yeah, I got the answer.
Okay. Okay, you're gonna, 1, 2, 3, you're gonna look, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Baby.
Yeah.
I got. Oh my God.
Fuck yes!
Oh my God.
Baby, congratulations!
I'm not expecting it at all.
I fucking knew you were gonna get it. Mwah.
Oh my God.
Bebita, congratulations.
Oh, congrats, baby, to you too. We're gonna be
Wow.
co-resident.
We're gonna be co-resident. That's fucking crazy.
Hi everyone. So you just saw a clip of us during our match day where we found out exactly where we matched for residency. And if you haven't already guessed, in this video, we're going to be talking about our couples match process, what that's like, and we have a lot of tips and advice for you guys that hopefully will help you during the process.
So don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you can get updates on when we make our new videos.
So let's get right into it.
So what is couples matching? Couples matching is essentially the process that you and your partner go through whenever you both are interested in trying to stay in the same geographic location. Typically in the match process, when you're applying by yourself, you rank each individual program. Whereas with the couples match algorithm, you rank combinations of programs. So let's say you and your partner both want to end up in New York. So then what you can do is you set up your first choice program as New York program number 1. Your partner sets up their program as New York program number 2. And that combination itself will be your first choice. And then the second combination will be your favorite New York program and their second favorite New York program. And so on and so forth. You go on and you make as many possible combinations up to a maximum of 300. Now there's different fees and there's other aspects to take into account with regards to the NRMP. But if you want the more detailed understanding as to what those specific fees are and other additional minutiae about the process, feel free to look at the video that we've linked in the description below, provided by the NRMP, and that provides a great detailed introduction as to how the couples algorithm actually works. The other important aspect to consider is combinations where one of you doesn't match. So in the worst case scenario, if one of you does match and the other one doesn't, you need to have that combination as a possible backup plan in your final rank list of combinations. Otherwise, if one of you doesn't match, both of you won't match.
And it's really important to emphasize that that's going to be one of your last combinations. It's not going to be in the middle of your rank list, or at the top of your rank list. That should be way at the bottom, just as a backup in case one of the partners is not going to match in any program.
Now, of course, this is all a very confusing process. But to make things easier, we'll also be providing a sample rank list that we made as a couple so that you guys can go through it and see exactly what we mean as we're talking about it in the video.
So there are many misconceptions about couples matching, and we're going to go through some of them here in this video. One of the first misconceptions about couples matching is that if you go through the couples match, you have a lower likelihood of matching than you would if you just applied individually. And let us just say that is completely false. There are some caveats to this though, of course. One of the caveats is if one of the partners is applying into a competitive specialty, say orthopedic surgery or plastic surgery, then individually they're gonna have a hard time matching. It's gonna be very difficult for them to match. And so if they have a partner that they're couples matching with who's applying into a very non-competitive specialty, say primary care specialties, pediatrics, family medicine, then of course the couples matching can get a little bit complicated for that couple. However, we do have some data from the NRMP that shows us that couples matching in general does not lower your likelihood of matching. In 2020, there were about 2,400 individuals who participated in the couples match. And they had a match rate of about 95.6%, which is very high. That's actually higher than matching individual. The average match rate for non-couples in the US who graduated from medical school here in the US was about 93%. So clearly, the match rate for couples is actually higher than it is for individuals who were just going through the match by themselves.
Now, that's not to say that you should automatically decide, hey, I'm going to couples match just to boost my chances. It's only a 2% difference. But the point is, whether you couples match or not, your chances are pretty much the same. Of course, with some caveats.
So couples matching does not lower your likelihood of matching at all. However, what might happen is that you might end up lower on your rank list than you would have otherwise if you applied individually. And that's really only if one of the couples is applying into a really competitive specialty, say orthopedic surgery or plastic surgery. In that case, then it would be a little bit more complicated to couples match because that is a very competitive specialty in and of itself.
So to wrap all of that up in one succinct way, the odds of you matching, whether you're couples matching or not, does not change. What can potentially change is where on your list you ultimately match to. And that's dependent on the competitiveness of the specialty in which your partner is applying to and the competitiveness overall of your partner in terms of their specific specialty.
So now we're going to talk about how to choose what programs to apply to as a couple. And the first step in that is deciding what regions you and your partner are more interested in ending up staying.
And that requires a lot of conversations. I mean, you and I talked about it a lot, didn't we, babe?
Yeah, we definitely knew that we wanted to stay in the Northeast. So that really narrowed down our choices significantly. So we knew, we were looking at Boston, New York, Rhode Island, Connecticut, just those states, anywhere in the Northeast.
It also can lead to some conversations about some uncomfortable topics, doesn't it? Like, for example, we both had to assess individually, where are we in terms of competitiveness? And the other slightly less fun topic was, okay, what happens if we don't end up couples matching together? How far away are we willing to live? How far is too far in terms of a long distance relationship? And, they're uncomfortable topics to really talk about, but it's also something to really be cognizant of when you're actually going through this process, because it's a reality. Some couples end up going into the couples matching process and expect to stay in the same state and then ultimately end up hundreds of miles apart. And you have to be prepared for that possibility.
So to sum it all up, communication is key. You have to talk to your partner about how far you're willing to live. Are you willing to live 2 hours drive? Are you willing to live only, 5 minutes away from each other? That is something that you have to talk about with your partner and a decision that you have to make together in terms of making your rank list and deciding what programs to apply to.
Exactly.
So now we're going to talk about general tips that we have for people participating in the couples match process. So one of the first tips is that you can use your partner's interview invitations in order to gain leverage to get your own interview invites. So for example, for Alex, he got an interview in one program and I really wanted to interview at that program as well because I was really interested in that program. And so I actually reached out to the program director and it was like, hey, Dr. Lou got an interview invite at your program and I'm really interested in your program. I love X, Y, and Z about your program. I think I would be a great fit. And my partner got an interview invite and we're couples matching. I would really love the opportunity to get an interview invitation to your program. And it actually worked out. So we really recommend that you use that as leverage when you are looking at how many interview invitations you've gotten and how many interview invitations your partner has gotten.
So another general tip for those of you who are applying, not necessarily in the same specialty, is what to do with regards to debriefing. So Carla and I, what we ended up doing is after every interview, we would try our best to withhold any first impressions or any bad or good impressions about our interview day until the other person had their interview on that same day. And the reason for that was because we didn't want to bias the other person. Let's say I came back from program A and I absolutely hated it, but you might still have liked it. So why bias them? Maybe they find something at that program that they love. So definitely keep that in mind in terms of what you decide to share before and after the interview so that you can kind of avoid pushing someone's opinion about the particular program in one direction or the other.
Yeah, and so what we did is that we wrote down notes about how we felt after every interview, and then we only shared them with each other until the other person had already had their interview at that program or at that region or whatever the case may be for you. And that really worked out well for us because we had a lot of different opinions about programs once we shared it. And it was nice to be able to form your own opinion and form your own impressions before you share that with your partner who might, say something that might bias your impression. So we really recommend that you have a systematic way of how you're going to share information with your partner. So that brings us to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on any new content, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.